Hello students, name of this chapter which we are going to discuss in brief as well as on the basis of question, that is reproduction in organism. Class 12th NCERT chapter number 1. So this chapter starts with the lifespan. And what is lifespan? That is time since birth. Since birth till natural death. Till natural death. That is known as lifespan. It varies from organism to organism, species to species, and it is not decided by the one particular organism. That is, entire population is taken, their birth and death time is noted, then averaging is done. Averaging is done, and that average indicates is the lifespan of organism. For example, human being is now 70 years. Human being has 70 years of lifespan. And I have already mentioned that varies from plant to plant, organism to organism, or species to species. Answer is lifespan, that is, this time is known as lifespan. Senescence is actually death time. Aging time indicates. Reproductive phase, when organisms are actively involved in the reproduction. Juvenile phase is the vegetative phase in case of plant. At that time, reproductive structures begin to develop. That is before reproductive phase, that is juvenile phase. Then there is a phase called reproductive phase, and finally senescent stage, that is aging indicates. It's an indication of aging, and followed by the death. Here some organisms are mentioned and their lifespan. The lifespan of crow is approximately 5 to 15 years. And A with 5 is in 2 options. Come to the second one. Parrot's lifespan is of 140 years, 140 years. Parrot's lifespan. So B with the 4, B with the third. But in these two cases again B with 3 matches. Crocodile lifespan is 60 years. Butterfly lifespan is in these examples is least, that is 1 to 2 weeks. That is for third. Answer is 4. Now come to this one, A5, B3, C4, C4, and let's start with the D1, that is crocodile 60 years, and E2, that is 150 years. That is 100% matching is seen in the third example. And for this one, in NCERT book in this chapter, 14 organisms with their picture and lifespan is given. And this is the source for this particular question's answer. One more thing I want to describe here, that is, see the size of parrot. See the size of parrot, but lifespan is 140 years. See the size of crocodile, hardly 60 years. This indicates size has no relationship with the lifespan. Size has no relationship with the lifespan. Now third question, find out the correct statement. Lifespan of organism is necessarily correlated. This is wrong. This is wrong statement. The size of a crow and parrot are not very different, so their lifespan is almost similar. This is again incorrect statement. Lifespan of a crow is hardly 10 to 15 years, whereas lifespan of parrot is of 140 years. Similarly, peepal tree has much shorter lifespan related to the mango. This is again wrong statement. See the last one. Reproduction is essential for the continuity of a species on earth. This is absolutely correct statement. Because of the property of reproduction, life is still there on the planet. Life forms are present on this planet because of the reproduction property. So third is correct. Fourth one, question number 4. The type of reproduction in an organism representing depends on. For this, actually the answer is 4, that is habitat, then internal physiology and other factors. Then only the reproduction of reproduction of organism or its type is decided. Question number 5. In both plants and animal, which is responsible for the transition between the 3 phases? Only hormonal changes. Only hormonal changes are responsible for switching over from one stage to another stage. That is from childhood to adult, adult to old age. In all these cases, there is a change in hormone, not enzyme, not vitamin. The process of reproduction, which results in the production of identical progeny. First of all, what is reproduction? Reproduction is to produce own kind. What is reproduction? That is to produce own kind. Reproduction, that is to produce own kind. To produce own kind is actually a reproduction. Reproduction is not a defining feature. Not a defining feature. It cannot be considered as defining feature. It is not a defining feature. Why? There are some exceptions or some organisms are there which do not reproduce. For example, worker bee. I would like to here mention here, that is worker bee. They are not able to reproduce. Then mule is a sterile hybrid. Then henny, again a sterile hybrid. Then human couple with no child. There are some human beings, they don't have child. So there are several exceptions. That's why reproduction can't be considered as defining feature. And reproduction is kept under 2 categories. Reproduction is kept under 2 categories. Number 1 is asexual reproduction. Number 2, sexual reproduction. There are 2 types of reproduction, asexual and sexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction is uniparental. That is, only one parent is involved. Whereas sexual reproduction, it may be uni or biparental. In asexual reproduction, no gametogenesis. No gametogenesis. Gamete formation does not take place. Here gametes are formed. Here fertilization, no. No fertilization. Here fertilization takes place. In asexual reproduction, only mitosis takes place. And mitosis results in the formation of identical progeny. As a result of mitosis, the products or progeny, they are very similar among themselves as well as similar to parents also. But this is not possible in sexual reproduction. In sexual reproduction, the progeny is not identical because of the involvement of meiosis and involvement of 2 different parents also. 2 different parents or 2 different gametes are involved. One treated as male, other one is treated as female. Then asexual reproduction is faster mode and simpler mode. Sexual reproduction is complex and slower mode. So here the answer is now clear that is identical progeny, identical offsprings. Better word is progeny, that is, in this case, we can say the process of reproduction which results in the production of identical process. That means question is related with the asexual reproduction, then answer is fast and simple. Faster mode and simpler mode. Sexual reproduction, slow and complex. Sexual reproduction is slow and complex. So question number 6, answer is 3, faster and simple mode. Asexual reproduction is common in single-celled organism, right? Some multi-celled organism, this is also right. Aquatic plant, it can be seen, not compulsion. So that's why my answer is here more than one option. More than one option. The question number 8. In which of the following cell division is itself the mode of reproduction? C. Unicelled organism, that is body is made up of single cell. If this cell divides, then 2 cells are obtained. So this cell division is mode of reproduction. For whom? Unicellular organism. This is for whom? Unicellular organism. But unicellular organisms are the member of Protista and Monera both. So first one and third one both are right, and my answer is for this question is both 1 and 3, because Monera and Protista, they have unicelled organism. They have unicelled organism. And one more thing, growth and reproduction. Actually, if number increases, it is also considered as growth. Growth and reproduction. Growth and reproduction is mutually inclusive property. Mutually inclusive property of unicelled organism. Mutually inclusive property of unicellular organism. So when cell divides, their number increases. So growth as well as reproduction both take place. So question number 8, answer is 4. Question number 9. Which form of reproduction is correctly matched? All these perform binary fission. In Euglena, this is Euglena actually. In Euglena, longitudinal binary fission takes place. That is, the cell divides in length. So first option is incorrectly matched. In Paramecium, Paramecium looks like this and it divides transversely. So this is also wrong. Euglena divides longitudinally, but Paramecium divides transversely. So both are wrongly matched. Amoeba, Amoeba has no particular shape. So in that case, binary fission is irregular. This is correctly matched. And what about the bacteria? Bacterial cell also divides transversely during its binary fission. So bacteria divides by binary fission, transverse binary fission. For bacteria, correct option is transverse binary fission. Amoeba is correctly matched. Paramecium again transverse binary fission, known for transverse binary fission, whereas Euglena is known for longitudinal binary fission. Longitudinal binary fission. For which of the following organisms there is no natural death? See the bacterial cell. This is bacterial cell and its genome. this genome duplicates. There is a duplication of genome. So prepare like that, it indicates there are now 2 copies. Followed by the separation of genome. This is the separation of genome. Then there is a cytokinesis. Transverse cytokinesis takes place in bacterial cell and it is animal cell like by furrow formation. And see the final result. 2 bacterial cells are obtained. 2 daughter cells are obtained. And where is the parent cell now? Parental cell without death, it divides to form 2 daughter cells. That is, parent cell is not visible, it is neither died, but it divides to produce 2 offspring. So there is no natural death in case of bacteria-like organism. So this answer for this question is, that is unicelled organism which divide by the binary fission is the only correct option. Here parental cell, identity of a parental cell is lost. Identity of the parental cell is lost, but it is not died. Question number 11. Fungi and algae, they reproduce through most common type of asexual reproduction in them, that is by means of zoospore formation. That is, zoospores are motile spores and they are motile due to presence of flagella or cilia, and this is most common in algae rather than fungi. Production of zoospore. Production of zoospore is most common in algae rather than fungi. And these are the motile spores born inside the zoosporangium. So that's why they are endogenous also. Zoospores are motile and endogenous. Zoospores are motile and endogenous. Budding is seen in fungi only. Conidia formation is seen in the fungi only. Gamules are seen in the sponge. So the only option left is zoospores. Gamule formation is common in sponge. Conidia formation is in fungi. Budding is seen in yeast and hydra. It is seen in yeast and hydra. During budding, the question is again on the basis of budding. This is the cell of yeast and its nucleus. The yeast cell produces a outgrowth that is known as protuberance. This is also called bud or protuberance. And this nucleus now divides and one of the nucleus enters in this bud. The nucleus divides and one of the nucleus enter in the bud. First of all, the tuberance appear, then there is a division in nucleus and one of the nucleus enters in the cell. Cytoplasm already entered with the appearance of bud, but the nucleus divides after that and one of the nucleus enter in this bud. Then this bud constrict and finally get separated. And 2 yeast cells are formed. So here, see this one. Cytokinesis is unequal, right. Identity of a parental cell is lost, wrong, because parental cell sustains. That is, the bud is formed by the parent cell and that bud gets separated. So the second option is wrong. Clones are produced, this is right, because the progeny is identical to the parent, because mitosis is involved, asexual reproduction is involved. So that's why my answer is right, because third and first options are correct. 13th question. Zoospores in algae. Zoospores, motile spores. Zoospores are motile spore, and their motility is due to presence of flagella or presence of flagella. They may be terminal or lateral. They may be terminal or lateral. They are born inside the zoosporangium. The structure in which zoospores are formed is known as zoosporangium. Zoosporangium. So their origin is endogenous. So final answer, zoospores are endogenous and motile spores. 14th question, conidia formation. Conidia formation is common in fungi, but not in all fungi. Members of Ascomycetes and few members of Deuteromycetes. Few members of Deuteromycetes. Some Ascomycetes and few members of Deuteromycetes. Conidia formation is seen over the specialized branch. This is known as conidiophore. This branch is called conidiophore. Then this branch again produces two branches. Each one is known as ramus. Then this ramus also divide to produce two branches known as metula. Single is metula. And over the metula, bottle-like structures are present known as sterigmata. These bottle-like structures are called sterigmata. Suppose this is sterigmata, final structure sterigmata. This sterigmata produces exogenous spores. This sterigmata produces exogenous spores in chain. They are produced by the sterigmata in chain. So this chain is actually of conidia, single conidium. They are born outside the structure, hence their origin is exogenous. They are non-motile. They don't have any flagella-like structure. They are non-motile. And this one is the new, this conidium is new. This one is the oldest. Oldest is at the top. This is oldest and towards base new one. Towards base new. This is newest. This arrangement is known as basipetal. They are arranged in basipetal manner. So finally, the answer is non-motile and exogenous. Non-motile and exogenous. An example for the conidia, two good example. One is penicillium fungus. Second is aspergillus. In which conidia formation is seen. This is the method of asexual reproduction, that is, it is seen in the sponge. A sponge produces buds inside a structure. So these are called gamule. These internal buds are called gamule. Gamules are actually internal buds. These are internal buds produced by the sponge, and they are extremely resistant. Extremely resistant buds. Yeah, highly resistant buds. Like the spores of bacteria. This picture shows the reproduction by means of gamule, reproduction by means of gamule, and answer is sponge. Planaria. Planaria is known for true regeneration. That is, the body of planaria, that is flatworm, if it is divided, then each piece has the ability to form a new. Each cell has the ability to form the new one. This is about the planaria. This is about the planaria, known for true regeneration. Then vegetative reproduction. Yes, vegetative, that is body. It is also called somatic reproduction. That is body part in plants. If they have bud, that portion is act as propagule, and if it is kept in the soil, it will develop into the new plant body. Here the parent is one, and the mode of division is again mitosis. Mitosis is involved, uniparental, mitosis is involved, no gamete formation, no fertilization. That's why this process is also kept under asexual reproduction. So final answer, it involves the clone formation. This is right. It involves the formation of clone, that is progeny is identical just like a asexual reproduction. No involvement of two parents. So better answer is second one. Question number 18. Vegetative propagule represents a large size fleshy bud that is known as bulbil. That fleshy bud is called bulbils. Bulbils formation is seen in Dioscorea. Dioscorea, number one example. Then oxalis. These two are the good example. They form fleshy bud. This bud is for perennation as well as reproduction. What is perennation? Actually, under adverse condition, this structure remains dormant and uses its stored food itself. Uses its stored food for survival. It germinates only when the conditions are favorable. That's why bulbil is correct answer. It's meant for perennation as well as reproduction. Bulbil is meant for perennation and reproduction. Fleshy buds are also seen in some aquatic plant. Fleshy buds of aquatic plant. Similar type of buds are seen in the aquatic plant. They are called turions. Turions. So turions are also fleshy bud, but they are formed inside the aquatic plant. They are formed by the aquatic plant. Bulb is modified underground stem. Sucker, modified subaerial stem. Rhizome, modified underground stem. They are not bud. They have bud, but they are not bud. Bulbil is actually bud. These are the stem, and stem. Choose odd one with respect to the vegetative propagule involved in the cultivation of following plant. Banana is propagated by means of rhizome as well as sucker. That is stem. That is, rhizome is a stem. In banana, rhizome is used, and rhizome is stem, modified underground stem. Ginger is also rhizome and it is also stem. In bryophyllum, leaf is involved. In bryophyllum, leaf is involved, and margins of leaf, they have buds. So in bryophyllum, leaf is involved and buds on leaf are called foliar buds through which it reproduces. Potato again, it is a tuber and it is a stem, modified underground stem. In three cases, case of banana, reproduction by stem, and in case of potato, reproduction is by stem. But here choose odd. The question says odd one. So bryophyllum is the answer. Bryophyllum is the answer because it reproduces by leaf. Because leaf has bud on their margin. Leaf has bud on their margin and by the leaves they reproduce. So odd one is bryophyllum. Rest three reproduce by means of a stem, whereas bryophyllum reproduces by means of leaf. This is the structure from NCERT book. It is offset plant. It is offset of eichhornia, that is water hyacinth. Offset of eichhornia, that is water hyacinth. Troublesome water weed, water hyacinth. And because it has a spongy roots also, spongy roots are also present, and these are the leaves, they are on node. If the plant is broken from an area, it develops and spread in the plant. It is troublesome aquatic weed, troublesome water weed. Troublesome water weed, eichhornia. Question says incorrect match. Bulbil, agave right, sucker, pineapple right, tuber, bryophyllum wrong. Bryophyllum is not reproduced by means of tuber, it reproduces by means of leaf. That's why third match is incorrect in this question. That is tuber bryophyllum. Then vegetative propagule of potato. Vegetative propagule of potato and bryophyllum. New plant arises. That is two separate plants are given. One is potato. In potato, eyes are present. This is potato tuber, modified underground stem, and these are the eyes. They represent actually axillary bud. They represent actually axillary bud. Whereas in bryophyllum, this is a leaf of bryophyllum. This is a leaf of bryophyllum, and in margins, notches are present. In notches, bud is present. That is foliar bud. This is foliar bud. So finally, potato and leaf and respectively word is given. That is first option from potato, then second is from bryophyllum. The better answer is axillary bud is found in potato, whereas that adventitious bud, the foliar bud is adventitious because it originates from the different portion of plant other than apex and axis of leaf. That's what is called axillary bud. That is known as adventitious bud. And it is a leaf bud, but that leaf bud is not mentioned in the previous option. First, potato is considered in the sense answer is, that is axillary bud of potato and adventitious bud of bryophyllum. This is for bryophyllum. Axillary bud is applied for the potato. The lateral bud are in eyes, that is potato, and bud on leaf is adventitious bud. It is not a natural bud. Naturally or normally buds are present in the axis of leaf or at the apex of plant. So those buds are regular position. If bud develops from any other part of plant, then it is considered as adventitious bud. Offspring produced through which of the following process structures are clone? Now clone, let's see. Clones require what? That is asexual reproduction only. Gametic fusion, it takes place in sexual reproduction. Syngamy takes place in sexual reproduction. Vegetative propagule is right answer. Vegetative propagule, that is, it is from the somatic part and it detaches from the parent. Definitely it will form the identical progeny and it is similar to the parent also. So here the answer is 3. Eyes of potato, I have already described. This is potato tuber, it is modified underground stem. These are eyes in potato, they represent actually axillary bud. What is represented by them? That is axillary bud. They represent actually axillary buds on a stem actually. They are bud on a stem. 25th question, which of the following is artificial method of vegetative propagation? Yes, cutting, artificial, layering, artificial, grafting, artificial, hence answer is 4th one. In cutting, the part of plant is separated or cut. It may be of a stem, leaf or root, and that portion is induced for the formation of root and put in the soil that will develop into the new plant. In layering process, one particular branch is selected and it is bent down in the soil and a cut is made from here and rooting is done. After development of root, this branch is separated and it develops into the new plant. That is layering. And what is grafting? That is make formation of composite plant by union of two different plants. Composite plant is made. These are all with the help of human being. So that's why they are called artificial method of vegetative propagation. Thank you.